Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56. You're not ready, you're not ready.
Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
Ready, 95-56. 51. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Eckler takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready?
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
36.
From the gun, it's Breeze. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle. Just
rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Come on, watch the safety creep. Watch that.
From midfield, here's Breeze. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 29-yard line.
And the Dolphins, first down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady. March by 4. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Eric Kendricks in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here is Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Shotgun now for Breeze. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Marr able to put this one through. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Wait, set. 29. Alpha. Check 49. Bandit. Bandit. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Check 150.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Alpha.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". I smell it. Shadow.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Check right, check right. Check, check. You kill. Presto. Wait,
Going on the ground with Eckler. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
Let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum. And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit. See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch out. X3, 218, chop.
Kamara trying to right side. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success. Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Watch the run. Tighten up.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hey, set. 380. Check. Walk 54. Check. Hey, 66.
They'll run it with Kamara, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Come on. You better bring it.
Now Eckler. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
First down, Buffalo.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Wait, set. Wait, 20. Hey, both 66. Hey, exit. Check 53, big stop.
Looking to throw on second down. Brady going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Brady. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
At the 26-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
53.
Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
51's a mic. 51's a mic.
Now Breeze. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there out of Kamara. And even 60 yards for him on the ground. Elsewhere, 2nd quarter in D.C. The Jets out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Throwing on 2nd down, Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. on to it, able to shake free and get home for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Bills on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Brady. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. It's not going to end in points, but, you consider where this drive started. You probably label it a success.
I do, and I know that without points, it's hard to say that a drive truly was a success. But think of it this way. Changing field position, maybe giving your defense a little bit of a break.
Oh, the return is Kirk. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need... And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On the ground, it's Eckler. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
21.
Back near his goal line. Here's Breeze. He's going to let this one go deep. It got his man complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
64, weak.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
No. You kill. 31's the mic. Here we go.
To throw, it's Breeze. Airing it out for him, and that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Maher is good. So we reach halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 30. 4.
First and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Brady. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
3rd down.
Wait, Mike is 59. Mike to 59. We go. Sugar. Watch the run. Whip. Watch the whip. Show it.
From the gun, it's Brady. He is going to find Hill here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Mike, check, 59, 72. Let's go, team. Hey, ball 66.
Here's Brady to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Stephon Tuitt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
3rd and long.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Check 15.
Operating from the gun, Brady. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught.
Let's go.
The Bills pass. Game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
A gain on the play. 1st down, Bills.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Wait, set 29. Alpha. Sugar.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
That's it, huh?
Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bills will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
He'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. It's Eckler again. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Breeze to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Miami. Oh, good footwork on the spin. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, that throw by Brady incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Switch. But he hit.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Wait, 20. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Check it, reload. Hey, check it.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
Mike, wait, 53. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 50.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Brady. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
I'm coming for you.
Brady now to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Third and long.
Wait, 20. Regular. Hey, wahoo. Check Mike 57.
From the gun, Brady. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Prater for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
It's 3rd and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Big series right here.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Watch the slant. Easy, opposite. Hey, Delta. Hey, let's come down.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
All day, just like that. Just like that. Check. Check hot route. Hot. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Hey, hot.
Again, it's Kamara. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Set. 380. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 31, Brady, quick hitch, complete. It's Andrews.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Wait, that's wide, 80. 59. It's a party now.
On third down, here's Kamara. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
At the 49-yard line.
Wait, set. 29. Alpha. 59. Mike to 59. Brilliant. Check 24. Check 24. Begin.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, 66.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Hey, Alpha. Check it.
To throw on third down, Brady. And the the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10.
Let's go! Let's go!
12-yard line.
Ready.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Za'Darius Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Breeze going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
Let's go.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give to Kamara running right. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
To throw, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Brady. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw again on 2nd down. Breeze over the middle. He's got Tyrell Williams. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the gun, it's Breeze. He'll get this to Eckler. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Breeze to throw again. He's going to let it fly. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Ready.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Again, it's Breeze. Got a man, it's complete. Williams.
Ready.
They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
Break it down.
They'll run here with Eckler. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Ready. 5-9. Hatchet. Hey, kill. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Man.
On 1st down, Breeze. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ready. 95-56. 95-56. Cut. Hey, alert 3.
One final try here for Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No,